I've tried to zoom in here. That's the plug, the fan plug in there. Okay, that's the one I was showing you on the wiring diagram. So I have just connected my pins there so that I can find, easy access, to tap into them. So there's a red and green. The red is connected to the positive wire, and the gray is connected to the negative wire. The colors of the negative wire is yellow and black, or yellow and black. Okay, that's the negative one. That's the best I can do in terms of zooming here. So what I said according to that wiring diagram was this wire should be hot all times. Okay, so what I'm going to do to try and prove that is I'll come here and I'm gonna use the ground. This is gonna be my ground here. Okay, that's gonna be my ground. Make sure that I've got good ground. So as you can see, we have about 12.7 volts. We have 12.7. The engine is not running. So what I'll do, I'll run the engine. I just wanted to do it before the engine is running, just to show you that my connection there. Yep, there you go. Got good ground there. The batteries here actually. This connection comes from the battery, so I should be able. Let me just clean it again. But there you go. Right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to run the engine and check the same pin. Now the engine is running. I'm gonna try and tap into the same wire. You can see that my alternator is kicked in and voltage has gone up to 14 volts. So I'm happy with that wire. What I'll do, I'll move. Let me see if I can go back again in there. I want to go to the negative one. I like to test my negative when the engine is running. I've tapped into the negative wire, which is the black and yellow. So I want to see what I'm going to read on this side. As you can see, it's not stable at all. It is fluctuating all the time, and look at that. Do not have good ground. No. I'm now on the control wire. We want to zoom in so that you can see. I'm getting 14 volts on the control wire. To be honest with you, I really need to go and investigate this and see what should be on this wire for the in order once the fan kicks in what voltage should be on this wire. But in the meantime, let's just keep the 14 volts in mind, and then we'll take it from there. I've connected the fan direct just to see if I can will I be able to zoom in there. There's too much light. Yeah, you can see the two wires that I have down there. Okay, I've just connected direct. The blue is my positive. The blue wire is my positive, and the red one I've connected it to my power probe on the ground side. So this confirms then that there's nothing wrong with the fan. It's the control unit that is not switching the fan on. So this is what we want to diagnose and see why is it not doing that. The last test that I did was to show that the fan is okay. So I connected the fan direct to the battery, and we saw the fan running, and my temperature sensor is okay. So I thought I checked the power and ground, and one thing that I had not said, I was doubting my ground there, but I realized that there was no current flowing because the fan wasn't running. So that's why my ground was like that. But what I'm going to do now, I've come to the control wire, which is this wire here. It's pin 4 on this plug. Okay, that's pin 4 on this plug. And what I've done, I removed the ECU. Okay, the ECU goes in here. That's where the ECU goes. Okay, so I removed the ECU because I want to check and see if there's an open in this wire. So what I'm gonna do is, because I realized that the 12 volts that we were reading, actually comes from, I'll show you here. Right, if you look at that fan module down there, let me focus on it, and there it is. If we look on this fan module, you will notice that there is another pin there. It's a small one. Yeah, I think we can see it on the side. You see the two big ones, and then there's that small one. I'm trying to focus on it, but it's an awkward position. But let's see. Yeah, there's the small pin there. Okay, that's the one that where the control wire goes from the ECU. It connects to that. So when you connect the main plug on this module, there is power now. The power is not coming from the ECU. The power is coming from this module here, going to the ECU. That's the 13 volts that 13.9, 14 volts that we were reading earlier on. So now I just want to see if there is continuity, because I'm suspecting an open on this control wire. So what I've done then, I have I have come to this plug here. That's the small of the two. That's the smallest of the two. So if you check that violet wire there, okay, you can see before it says number 7. It says number 7. So that violet wire there is my wire, because on the ECU side it's pin 8, on the fan module side it's pin 4. So what I want to do now is to tap into that and then see if I have continuity. So here in the corner here it says pin 19. So I just want to prove that my wire is correct. So I say that's pin 7 in there. So the violet one will be 8, yellow one will be 9, this one will be 10. There are 2 spaces here, so that's 11, 12, and then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then 19. So that is correct. I have proved that I am on the right wire. It is important to prove that you're on the right wire. So I'm going to tap into that. That's me, right? I've tapped into it. Let's see if we have continuity. So to measure continuity, I've turned my meter to ohms. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, this black pin is on pin 4, and then let me see, it's on pin 4. So I'll come to that one there. That's pin 8 on the ECU side. Okay, that is pin 8. Let me bring it up here so that we can all see. Okay, I'm on the violet wire here. That is pin 8. You see, you can zoom on the meter. So that's OL. You know, that's infinity, which means then that there is a chance that I've got an open here. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, I'll just strip these wires and see where I have the open. So when I stripped the wires right from the plug, I noticed that there is a connector here. Okay, and I don't know if I'll be able to show, but if you see, I can see powder. Look at that. Look at that. See that? Look at that. I don't think this is a healthy joint. Look at that. This is not a healthy joint. So let me take it. Let me remove. You can see. Oh, look at that. My. Look at this. Just look at that. Okay, there is a lot of a few strands only. Look, two strands that are still holding. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if I have got another problem, so I'll try and get a reading from here between this part here and the ECU. Let me see if I can get a reading there. If not, then it means we may have another open again. So I'll go here. We want to focus on the we have another one again. It just broke on the other end. This is the end that I was showing you. Just broke on the other end. So I need to strip it further. Right, let's delve in there and see where the problem is. Yeah. Oh my. You can see there was another joint again. So this is the what? That's the third joint. in less than a meter. Okay, there was another joint and it just broke there. Oh, this is well, I don't want to say where this guy bought this car from, because one of my mates works in there, you know, but I was gonna tell you guys, you know, this kind of, you know, of these kind of joints, it's just wires joined together, and then, you know, no solder, nothing, and that's not good for electronics. So too bad. I would urge technicians, please, let's solder the wires. And look at that, let's solder the wires and make sure that you know, we put heat shrink and protect the joint where possible. So let me try and see if I can get a reading from here. I tried last time and then it just broke on me straight away, so I don't know. Let me see if I can. Still, I do not have a reading. Let me maybe touch these together. There you go. When I touch my probes, they are okay. So I'll try again. Go in there, and then oh my god, and then try that one there. No, I do not have a reading at all, so my struggle continues. I'll continue to strip that loom until I get to a point, because corrosion seems to have settled into this wire, until I get to a point where I'm happy. I didn't want to bypass this wire, just cut it on one end and connect it to this side. I can do that, but I want to make sure that everything is okay. So what I'm going to do, maybe let me try again, make sure that I've got good contact. Let me see that I've got good contact in there. I don't want to be on the wrong wire. Yeah, I think I've got a healthy where is that? No. Okay, I'll continue to strip this. Right, this is what I ended up doing. I pulled out the box, pulled out the ECU, everything else. Remember, we were following that that purple wire, which if you check from the module here, it goes on that wee tiny pin, right? And we realized that it was broken in three places. So what I did, I kept on following it. So I've opened the looms, as you can see. As you can see now, the looms are open. So I had to strip from here. Actually, I would say from here, right? That's the other bit here. So I had to strip, open up the loom, all of that, followed it, and then this, remember here, it had broken. When I pulled it, it broke. So I realized that there was another dry joint again. So now I cut it. I cut the bad part off. So I peeled it off there so that we can now do the test. So here, that's resistance set. Let me see. Let's go in there. We are on pin number 8 on the ECU side. Okay, that's pin number 8. That's that violet wire. So this is on the ECU side. Now let's go to the other end of the wire from the ECUs, right? And then we follow it right down up to here. So if I now go on this end, I have selected resistance on my scale. Let me show you what I have. Bingo, we have continuity. Now you can see we have continuity now. So our problem was there was no continuity because this wire was corroded. Somewhere water got in because there were joints that were not soldered. Okay, there were joints that were not soldered. So now we can read continuity. So I will put everything back together and then see if we can get the fan to run without connecting it directly. I'm happy about that. So what I'm going to do now, I need to get a wire, connect this end to that end. Okay, I just want to connect these two ends, but I'll have to run a wire here so that I can solder the joints, put everything back together. I want to believe that when I do that, the fan is going to work. Okay, so we will not have overheating anymore, but we need to get there so that I can conclude and say, yep, that is a good job. But from experience, I have seen these before, so I know that is a fix, but I'll have to prove it anyway. Right, so I have soldered that wire. I have to join it to compensate for the part that was. So this is the best way of doing it. So having soldered it, now I want to protect that joint, so I'm going to use a heat shrink, and I'll use a heat gun to make sure that that joint is done right. So as you can see, perfect, really sweet. Okay, so we are going to have another joint here. I'll have to cut that part. Remember, it was just holding by, it was just holding by 2 strands. So I'm going to cut the bad part, make sure that I get rid of the bad part, and then join it. Right, this battle is now won. Look at that, the fan is turning smoothly. It's controlling the temperature. So I want to, now you see it has stopped. So what will happen is I want you to keep an eye on the multimeter. Once the fan kicks on, we are now sitting at 3.6. If that voltage drops to 11, then look, see that? Look at that. The fan is turning. The moment the fan turns, it drops to about 11.8. The voltage drops to 11.8. So as long as we have 11 there, 11.8 volts, the fan is running. I can prove that. There's the fan running. If that fan stops, you see when it stops, you watch our voltage. Once the fan stops, there you go. There you go. Look at that. The fan is stopped. Voltage is now 12.6. So what can we say about this? This is a fix. We have done a wonderful job. The diagnosis was correct, and I hope you'll enjoy this. There is the fan. The voltage has dropped. The fan has come on. Look, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please click that notification bell so that you don't miss any videos from ourselves, and also so that you please give us likes as well. Look, if you have any comments, send us your comments. They are welcome. Thank you. So this, the alternator wire, it is paused. As you can see, it is actually paused. So we want to check and see what's happening with the fan at the moment. Is not moving. The fan is not going. That's the control wire I'm on for the fan. At the moment it's not moving, and it's sitting at around 18. So now the fan is going. This wire is paused. It is actually paused. I didn't notice it at the first. I thought about it later on, that the multimeter wasn't doing me any justice. That's why I have put the scope. Try and see, as you can see. So let's see if the fan is going. Yeah, it's just stopped. It just stopped there. There is our fan running.